Hello, everyone. How are you today? Thank you for inviting me into your home. I hope that you're doing well. As always, I love you and I miss you. So thank you for taking some time out of your day to spend with me. I hope that you had a wonderful and happy Easter Sunday. Today, we are going to continue talking about the miracles of Jesus. That's something we've been doing all year. We've learned a lot of cool stuff. Well, today we're going to talk about what probably is the greatest miracle of all, and that's Jesus's own resurrection, which we just talked about on Easter. So if everyone could get your Miracles of Jesus book, you're going to need this. You're also going to need this picture that came home in your April totes. You will also need the watercolor set that you received in your totes, and perhaps a glass or two of water for the watercolors. And I also brought with me a paper plate and a paper towel because, it's watercolor, so it could get a little messy. So those are all of the things that we're going to need to do our craft project after we read our story. So if you can find your Miracles of Jesus book and go to the very last page, there's a word search here, but this, with the picture of Jesus, this is the story we're going to read today. It's called The Resurrection of Jesus. You probably know what happened next. Jesus suffered and died on the cross. How could this happen after all the good Jesus did? But remember God's plan. After 3 days, Jesus rose from the dead. Here's one of the ways Jesus showed his friends he wasn't a ghost. After a long night of fishing, the apostles hadn't caught anything. In the morning, a stranger stood on the beach. "Children," he called, "have you caught anything?" They hadn't, so he told them to cast their nets over the right side of the boat. The disciples tried, and the net was filled with fish. Sound familiar from a different miracle that we read earlier this year? The disciple named John said, "It is the Lord." Peter jumped into the sea and swam to Jesus. The other disciples followed in the boat. Jesus waited on the shore near a little charcoal fire with some fish and bread. "Come have breakfast," Jesus said. Even after his greatest miracle, rising from the dead, Jesus made his friends breakfast. Everything Jesus did, his words, actions, prayers, and miracles, was part of God's plan to share his love with us. Jesus' death and resurrection was the most important piece of God's plan. As Jesus said, "No one has greater love than to lay down one's life for his friends." Jesus died for us, but the power of his love is stronger than anything, even death. For this we love and praise him forever. All right. You guys know that story because we tell it every year at Easter because it's important to remember. So go ahead and get your paper. Okay, he is risen. And we're going to spend some time just coloring this in with watercolors. And That's an expression, your own personal expression of what you think this should look like. You choose the colors where they go. You choose what you want your picture to look like. And I bet it's going to be beautiful, just like you. So I shared this on Easter Sunday in my children's message, but I think it's worth repeating. He is risen is what's at the top. And that's so important because that's really what Easter's all about, that Jesus is risen. He's with us here forever. And I love this picture of the cross. Sometimes crosses can make us sad or make us think about when Jesus died because he died on a cross. But when I look at this cross, I get filled with joy and happiness because of the heart in the middle. Because God loved us so much, she sent Jesus down here to be with us. She sent him here to teach us all about love. That's what that heart means, love. He told us to love our God and love ourselves and love each other. Those are very important lessons. And then in the background, I love that the sun is rising. It's the beginning of a new day. Because every single day of your life is a new day. It's a new beginning. It's another chance. It's a gift. God gives you a gift every single day. That's pretty nice, right? That you get a gift every day from God. Your day is your gift. What are you going to do with it? How are you going to help others? How will you show love? These are opportunities that you have every single day. You might have had a bad day yesterday. Sometimes I have bad days. Sometimes I say things or do things that, well, those weren't the best choices because maybe I was having a bad day. But I know that God forgives me. And I know that the next day I get to start all over again, brand new, clean slate. And so do you, because God's love is forgiving and never ending. All right, let's do some painting. So I've got my paintbrush and my water. I'm going to dip my brush in the water. Then I'm going to choose a color. Not sure where I'm going to start. I might start with the sun because I think I want to paint it my favorite color, which is orange. And you guys should paint whatever part of the picture you want to paint, whatever color you want to paint it. This is pretty cool. I haven't done watercolors in a while. This is fun. As soon as I get some of mine done, I'll show it to you. So I hope that you had a fun Easter. I hope you got lots of yummies and goodies in your Easter basket. If you participated in the Holy Week scavenger hunt, I hope that was fun. I had a lot of fun making it, so I hope you had fun doing it. And I hope you liked your Easter goodie bags that you got. Have you ever woken up early enough to watch the sun rise? Like you wake up and it's dark and you're outside and you're just waiting and watching for the sun to come up on the horizon. I've actually only done that a couple times. It was very cool and amazing and wonderful. But the reason I've only done it a couple times is because I'm not really a morning person. I like to sleep in. So it's hard for me to get up early before the sun and then stand outside waiting for it to rise. One time I was down in Florida and I went to the beach to watch it rise. That was super cool. And the other time I was with some kids from church. The high school students had gone on a service trip to South Dakota on a Native American reservation, and some of the kids had gotten up early to watch the sunrise. And that was pretty awesome also. So I don't know if you've ever done it, but it's pretty cool if you get a chance to try it. How's your watercolors coming out? Mine's going okay. I'm going to show you guys something in just a second here. Okay, so I did my sun. Check it out. So I did orange, and then I did the rays coming off of the sun yellow. All right, now I'm going to move on to, I don't know, I guess I'm going to do the heart. I'm going to do it red because that's just what I'm going to do. I mean, it's kind of, everybody does a red heart, but you can really do any color you want. There's no rule that says it has to be red, right? It's just kind of whatever you want, basically. It's your heart. You want to paint it purple, paint it purple. You want to paint it brown, paint it brown. Whatever color you want, you should do it. Okay, I got my heart done. All right, I'm going to move on to, I think I'm going to do the words, he is risen. Well, I'm not sure about that yet, actually. I think I'm going to do the cross, but I'm going to do mine brown. Because of like the color, like wood would be a brown color. Remember, you don't have to do what Jennifer's doing. You can totally do whatever you want to do. You know that? Because it's yours. Make it your own. And I know some of you are very artistic and you enjoy creating. So create away for sure. Are you getting excited about spring and the spring weather? And that it's starting to finally get a little bit warmer. And you can go outside more and stay out longer because you don't get freezing cold. Plus, maybe you can be outside with some friends because I know we're supposed to still be wearing our masks and being really careful, but if we're outside and we can be with some friends, right? That's kind of exciting. I think so. I'm getting excited because on Monday, I get to go and get my first vaccination shot. And even though I don't like needles, I'm pretty excited about getting vaccinated so I can be safe. Because I certainly don't want to get COVID. And the more that we get vaccinated, the more likely we'll be able to get together in person. And I really need that. I'm really hoping that in the fall, we'll be able to start church school like normal. In the church, in our church school, together as a group. Even if we still have to wear masks, I'm okay with that. I just want to be able to see you guys in person. You know? It's been way, way too long, that's for sure. But I love that you all still come to this church online with me, either by watching my children's messages or watching these Jesus videos or doing some of the materials that are in the tote bag. Some of you even come to children's time via Zoom on Sunday mornings. And all those things add up. All those things add up and they make me super happy because I get to see you. But it also helps you because sometimes, you know, going to church is like a habit that you get used to, it's practice, right? Like, okay, it's Sunday, let's go to church. Sometimes you can get out of the practice, right? Like because we haven't been able to go to church, like physically together. But you're still learning about God. You're still learning about Jesus. You're learning the stories of the Bible. You know, all those things that you're participating in are helping you stay connected to church, to God, to your church family, to me. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I appreciate all the time that you guys put in to still making church be part of your life. Because you guys are what makes church great, in my opinion, for sure. How are your pictures coming along? Pretty good? Getting good with your colors? I'm getting there. Okay, so now I made my green grass down there. I guess you could, I guess if you had a plate, like I do have a plate, you might be able to mix some of your colors to create another color if you wanted to. Okay, I'm gonna work on, is that purple? Is this a dark purple? Not even sure. Oh, that's blue. Okay, I see. Oh, I thought that was purple, but it's blue. I was gonna do He is Risen in purple because that's like the purple in church. Purple, the color purple represents royalty. And a lot of people consider Jesus kind of like a king. And sometimes they called him the King of the Jews or the Prince of Peace. You know, because a lot of people believed that Jesus was coming here to save them like a ruler would, that he was going, a lot of people thought he was going to be like a warrior, like a general of an army, and that he was going to sort of take care of the bad guys, which were the Romans. The Romans were not being very nice. So a lot of people thought he was going to be like a general, and the current kings, the people that were in charge, got very scared about this Jesus guy because they didn't want to lose their rulership. They were ruling and they liked being in charge of everything. And Jesus had a lot of followers. They got scared by that. And that's why they killed him. They didn't want him to take over, but they didn't understand that they really couldn't kill Jesus because he rose from the dead to prove that even death couldn't stop God's love for us. So, needless to say, they were surprised by that. I don't think they saw that coming. I bet they were scared too. Because then They really knew what they had done. These watercolors are working out pretty well. I hope yours are. I'm pretty impressed with this little kit that I ordered. What other types of art do you guys like to do at home or at school? There's painting, there's drawing, there's sculpting with like clay, there's collage. Have you ever made a collage where you just take all these different pieces of things and put them together to make a picture? There's cartoon drawing. There's oil painting as well, finger painting. Lots of different ways to get artistic, right? I'm almost done, guys. Look at my picture. All right, now my bottom part here. What do I want to do? Oops, just got some water on my thing here. I'm not sure. I don't want it to be green on green, so I've got to figure out. I guess maybe I'll try some blues. Maybe I'll mix some blues and some greens. I'm going to try some mixing of colors and see what happens. Hopefully it just doesn't turn brown. Sometimes when you mix colors, it just turns brown, you know? I don't want to do that. Not that I don't like brown, I just don't want brown there. That's all. If you get a chance, when you're all done with your picture, if you get a chance to ask your mom or dad to take a picture of yours and send it to me, ooh, that would be really cool, because I would love to see what you created. Because I know you guys are really, really good artists. You're good creators, and I would love to see what you came up with. All right, guys, here's my finished picture. He is risen. Look at that. Look at all the color that we added to that. We started with a black and white picture, and we added some beautiful color and brought it to life. Yeah, just like Jesus when he came back to life. Well, again, I thank you for your time. I hope that your picture comes out beautiful and maybe you get a chance to send it to me. And I hope and I pray that in September we're all going to be back together in church. So again, I love you and I miss you. Have a really great month.